You know how big Woodley looks compared to him?
Ginormous.
It's so bizarre looking at Woodley inside the octagon.
You know
he's the most jacked dude, I think, other than Yoel Romero.
Yoel?
He's in there. He's in there.
Oh, they're 1 and 2.
Yeah.
1 and 2 right now.
And I think it's like interchangeable.
Yeah. It depends what you're into.
But Yoel flies through the air. Yoel does backflips at the beginning of every fight. At the beginning of every fight, he goes into the audience, or he goes into the cage, and he does back handsprings and literally launches himself through the air and lands on his feet.
Like it's the Olympics.
Yeah.
And it's a solid landing.
And he's 200 pounds.
Correct, sir.
And he's flying.
Flying.
He's the freakiest
And
freak
loves
athlete
gay
ever.
Jesus. Yes.
Yeah, Jesus.
Gay Jesus.
Michael Bisping, I love you. I love you, Michael. You do that to me. I love you.
Someone needs to help him with his marketing,
don't
right?
change a word.
No, but he lost so much fan support when he said for what did he say? For the gay Jesus. We thought he said gay Jesus,
Yes.
but he said don't forget Jesus. But his broken English was so bad, people went bad on him so fast.
They did.
And then he kept calling Bisbing boy.
Yeah, I like
calling
that.
boy.
Well, it's okay because
I
he's
like
a black
that.
guy.
I like that.
He's allowed.
If Bisbing did that to him, we had some shit on
We
our
have some
hands.
shit on our hands.
Cannot
Yeah.
say that to
No.
a man of color.
No.
He does talk
Don't
like that.
forget Jesus.
He's so scary. Poor Weidman in New York, hometown, needed a win bad. They only getting no love in New York, and then just a fucking knee from Cuba just to your dome piece.
Just flew through the air, and as he hit him, like he was flying over him afterwards. But you know that was insanely impressive. But you know what was almost as impressive is the way he took Weidman's back. He tripped him. They tied up together. He trips Weidman, throws him to the ground, and then spins around behind him and takes his back.
How about the trip? How about the world-class trip?
Oh, yeah.
People are like, that's just trip. No. That's world-class level trip. Weidman's an absolute monster.
Ridiculous.
And he was just, kadoosh.
He was throwing him around. He was showing him the difference between a wrestler from the Olympics, a guy who medaled in every single world tournament he entered.
And built like a Ninja Turtle.
Dude, he's ridiculous.
And
You know he has like a fused disc in his neck.
I would assume.
He had a serious injury in his neck, just like Weidman has. But Weidman had a discectomy.
Weidman had surgery.
He did. So Yoel has a big scar on the back of his neck. You could see it. It's like a big slice. It's all stitched up.
Just like Ving Rhames from Pulp Fiction.
Very different. But
You know what I'm saying, though. Same scar, black guy.
well, it's you know, I've seen it before on other guys, but spinal surgery is fucking no joke, man.
I had Weidman win that fight till then.
He won the first round, but you thought he won the second round when Yoel was throwing him around?
No, not winning, but I thought as the fight would go on, it would help Weidman.
I thought in the second round, Yoel started implementing his wrestling, and I
Correct.
thought he was running away with it. And then in the
so
third,
it'd be 1-1, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I thought it was 1-1.
Yes, 1-1.
But
That's
I thought
fair.
it was like shocking how good his wrestling was in comparison. And we know
He
that
doesn't,
Weidman
he
is...
doesn't show it.
Yeah, very, very rarely. But when he does, dudes go flying.
I don't know why he doesn't use it more.
Because he's having fun.
Having a good time.
Dude, for real. At first, when he was talking stuff to Bisping, I'm like, God, that's a terrible fight for Bisping. God, that's terrible. And then it hit me, I'm like, 5 rounds? Bisping really doesn't initiate in that grappling, and he has cardio for days? That's a tough fight to call. At first, I was like, yeah, Romero's going to fucking destroy Bisping. I'm like, not really, though, if you think about it. Not really.
Who knows what could happen, but Dan Henderson caught Bisping twice bad in their last title fight at 45 years old or whatever it is.
He did catch him really
He caught him bad. And Dan Henderson, who is one of the most ruthless power strikers in the game for sure, and Bisping survived that. So that's good for Bisping that he was able to survive that, you know? You got to think, Yoel Romero doesn't just have a right hand. He flies. He literally launches himself at you. If he gets a hold of you, the wrestling
You're going
ability.
for a ride.
Dan Henderson's a silver medalist in the Olympics as well. But it's
different.
It's different.
Different.
Yeah.
Especially Dan right now. What's Dan, 48?
I think he's 46 or 45.
He's up there either way.
Yeah.
But Romero's basically, in his prime as an MMA fighter.
Well, also there's like the range of motion.
Yes.
Like Dan's almost like locked up.
Some would say stiff.
Yeah, but if he hits you, you're Fucksville. DC he's
love
it's
that guy.
interesting. Like somebody said to me once that DC should be fighting middleweight. I'm like, go stand next to him and say that.
He's
a
core
tank.
is like this thick.
Yeah, he's a tank.
Like, he's a big dude.
Yeah, he might only be 5'10".
Well,
but
they
he's
say that
just
because he's a
dense.
little chubby, but
yeah.
he's stronger than anybody can imagine. You don't pick up Dan Henderson.
How about
do
Josh
this.
Barnett? Remember when he was fighting
Yeah.
heavyweight in Strikeforce?
Yes.
He picked up Josh Barnett like he was a pillow and slammed him on the ground.
That's what I mean. Like the guy, like blows my mind
Yeah.
how good he is.
Yeah.
And I don't think
Phenomenal
people give him
wrestler.
enough credit. Like,
Yeah.
I know DC on a training level. When I watch him train on a personal level, I mean, he's DC. He's crazy. He's always talking out of his butt, you know, to an extent. It's hilarious. But he's a beast, man. You
He's a
got to
beast.
respect that.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Me too.
He's
fucking
a
good
great guy. He's in the era of John Jones, you know, and he lost
And I
to
get
John
it.
in his first fight, and he's also dealing with the fact that John, although I love John too, John's a fuck up, you know, and so he's got to sort of be there while John keeps fucking up, and then a lot of it comes back to him.
But that's where I look at DC and why I try to give him all the respect in the world I can, because I don't feel that people give enough respect to DC for the fact that he's not fucking up.
Right? No, he's
Like,
a great
how come
guy.
you don't?
Right.
How does that get overlooked? Well, I think a lot of it has to do with people can connect to fuck ups
Yeah.
too.
There's
because,
that. Yeah.
you know, I mean, and John Jones is that good.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
That's the
He's
other thing.
literally that good.
He's that
a
good. He could
freak.
beat you after he did coke 3 weeks ago.
I don't know what to
that's
say about
the thing
that,
about
you know.
John. You
I'm
know?
good enough to win after 3 surgeries, you know. So let's see. We can test the
Yeah.
waters on both. Let's see who does what. I'll do a line of coke next time, and then try to jump in there and see how I do. And let's blow his knees out 3 times, and then we'll see who's better.
Well, that's a different animal, you know. I mean, it's interesting that sometimes people are just supremely talented physically, and they don't have to deal with as many trials and tribulations in that regard. You know, he's very gifted. Like John, like it's interesting. I've always said this. Like, there's a way that John gets a hold of people that, you know, you could almost tell when he gets a hold of them that they've really have never felt anything like that before. And you saw it with DC. You know, DC, who's a supremely talented wrestler. I mean, one of the best wrestlers to